former chairwoman of the Democratic National Committee has thrown a stink bomb at her party. Two, actually. Donna Brazile claims in her new book that before she took over the DNC, the process was essentially rigged in favor of Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. And perhaps more alarming, Brazile writes that after Clinton's September 11th fainting spell, she considered trying to replace the struggling Clinton-Tim Kaine ticket with Vice President Joe Biden and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. Now, the Clinton campaign team responded last night in an open letter signed by a number of staffers. Quote, "It is particularly troubling and puzzling that Brazile would seemingly buy into false Russian-fueled propaganda spread by both the Russians and our opponent about our candidate's health." Tom Perez is the current DNC chair, and he joins me now. Mr. Chairman, good morning.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir. You and James Farley from first guest to last this year with 70 years in between. Let me ask you this, though. On that account of flipping the ticket, Donna Brazile on another show says she was under enormous pressure to have a backup plan to do this. Is that a fair response to all this criticism that she's been getting?
Well, you know, Chuck, first of all, I will answer that question very directly, but everywhere I go right now, we're focused on elections on Tuesday in Virginia, New Jersey, and what the people are telling me is they want to know how are they going to get their good jobs back, how are they going to get health care, how are they going to make sure they feed their family, and that's the focus of Democrats across this country. Now, let me get back to your very important question. I have great respect for Donna. I consider her a friend. She's done a lot for the Democratic Party. The charge that Hillary Clinton was somehow incapacitated is quite frankly ludicrous. Hillary Clinton was a tireless senator, a tireless Secretary of State, and a tireless candidate.
So do you agree with the Clinton campaign that Donna Brazile fell for Russian propaganda?
I don't know what Donna Brazile fell for, but all I know is under the rules and bylaws of the Democratic National Committee, she couldn't have done this. Hillary Clinton was anything but incapacitated. She was tireless. She was a workhorse. And frankly, what saddens me about this as much as anything is I think people who read that charge, which is just without merit, are going to perhaps start wondering about other claims in the book.
All right, let me ask you about other claims in the book, including this idea that essentially the DNC was playing favorites, that the process, and I think she even says it wasn't a criminal act, but she thought it compromised the party's integrity. There's been some stiff reaction from progressives. Nina Turner, the presidential primary was rigged. Jeff Weaver, the former Bernie Sanders campaign manager, called it a laundering operation. Senator Elizabeth Warren told me that you're being tested, and your vice chair said this: Donna Brazile's account cannot simply be dismissed. Okay, Elizabeth Warren says you're being tested. How are you going to restore trust with Sanders supporters that the DNC is going to be a fair place is going to be a fair arbiter here for the party?
Hey, I accept every test because I ran for this office because I believe in this party and I knew we needed to up our game, Tim. I'm thinking of Tim Russert.
No, a lot of us.
Because I'm a Buffalo guy.
That's
you got to
okay.
understand that, Chuck. But here's my view on this. When I hear the word rigged, let's be very clear. Hillary Clinton won the Democratic primary by 4 million votes. The Democratic National Committee does not run elections for primaries. The Republican National Committee does not run elections. States run elections, and those elections were run by the states. We run caucuses, and Bernie Sanders did very well in the caucuses. Where I think both Senators Warren and Keith Ellison and myself, where we agree is we have to earn the trust of the voters. And during the process of the Democratic primary, we fell short in that, undeniably. And I accepted that responsibility. And here's what we're doing about it. Right. Number one, in the future, moving forward to 2020, we're going to be announcing our Democratic debate schedule before we know who the candidates are, because the number one goal has to be fair and transparent. All of our fundraising agreements, our partnerships will be available to everyone, as they were actually in 2016. And then what we have to do is make sure we're also working with voters up and down America, rural America, urban America, everywhere in between, to earn their trust.
Don't you owe the Sanders campaign an investigation? I mean, Donna Brazile put that charge out. Don't you and Keith Ellison, shouldn't you guys look back and see if her charges are true?
Well, again, I totally agree, Chuck, with the notion that the DNC fell short during critical
they did play
moments of the primary. I think we have to do better, is what we have to do, Chuck. And that's why I was very clear during our primary campaign, during the campaign for DNC chair, that we have to make sure that everybody feels at the end of the process that everyone got a fair shake. That's what we're about, Chuck, and that's what we have to do. That's how we earn people's trust.
I got to ask you about Tuesday's elections here, and there's been a lot of charges of who's running a hateful or angry campaign. Terry McAuliffe called Ed Gillespie's campaign racist, but I got to play for you this ad that a Latino group ran, and then you're going to see a Virginia Republican ad response to it. Take a look.
Drive a pickup truck? Democrats think you're a racist. Support the president? Democrats think you're a racist. It's despicable, and it's wrong.
I'm sure you've been familiar with the ad itself and the controversy around the ad, and the Republican Party's response that it was basically Democrats don't like it when when Republicans stereotype. Aren't you stereotyping? Are all pickup truck? I drive a pickup truck. I mean, are all pickup truck drivers racist? That's what the ad. Do you understand why some people think the ad implies that?
Well, Chuck, let's be clear about what's happening in the race in Virginia and in all too many races. Dog whistle politics. Steve Bannon just endorsed Ed Gillespie in Virginia this morning. And throughout this campaign, Ed Gillespie has been fear-mongering. He's been doing the same thing Donald Trump did. That's not fair. That's not right. Virginia, under Ralph Northam's leadership, under Justin Fairfax's leadership, they're looking for a way to unite people. And Ed Gillespie, throughout the campaign, has been dividing people. And when you hit the bully back and the bully starts crying, those are crocodile tears to me.
Party have to do some soul searching if you don't win Virginia governor?
Oh, we're going to win Virginia governor. And I've been out there. And here's the thing, Chuck. I was out there literally yesterday campaigning with Justin Fairfax, campaigning in a House of Delegates race. We had people from Our Revolution there. We had people from Swing Left there. We had people from the DNC there. The people across America that I see every day in Virginia, New Jersey, and Washington State and District 45, they're moving forward. They want us to focus on the future. We're building that infrastructure of success. We've knocked on twice as many doors as we did 4 years ago when Terry McAuliffe won, and I'm confident we're going to win again this Tuesday, both in New Jersey, Virginia, and many other key races across the country.
Well, we'll be watching. It's certainly going to be close and interesting. Tom Perez, chair of the DNC, thanks for coming on, sharing your views.
Always a pleasure.
You got it.